uh, okay. Okay. Good boy. Uh, okay.
Okay, I think we're good now.
Okay.
Had a rough start there.
Good boy.
Hello, this is Big Man. Had a premature start there, but it happens to everybody at least once in their life. Welcome to the stream. Tonight we'll be working on the MOBA. The turn-based MOBA, which doesn't have a name yet. And we will be integrating combat events into our event system we created last stream. And we'll probably be doing some other things that probably won't take a lot because we're really just adding the animation events we've already created before to the new event system. So that shouldn't take that much time at all. And then we've got some other things we probably want to work out. We got some new models to actually put in the game. And we may test out some of the sword-based melee. Or just test out some melee in general, since that's what we're doing. We'll be doing the combat stuff anyway. Good grief. My mouth hasn't even caught up to what I'm doing right now. Let's go ahead and let's get started here. So let's go ahead and get the game started. Go ahead and show it off here. So what you just saw there was the character ran in the position they're supposed to. Oh. but there's an error I got going on right now where it jumps back to the correct position. So it runs in the wrong direction. They run in the wrong direction. And then it jumps back to the right position. But the thing that we got working last time is you see it actually tracks where they move to. So this is, we've proved this is correct. That you can see it's moving in a numbered direction of spaces. And then of course it jumped to the end, which is also correct. So our event system right now, that is, we only had it set up to track movement between like grid spaces, grid panels, because the whole game is on a grid. So next we need to actually track when an attack starts and when it ends. And we already have, we already use animation events for that anyway. We just need to have them register with the events, with the game events that we created, the new event system. So might have to take a quick break here just to check something. One sec. Okay, and that's what I thought. My TTS isn't working because I know Tons just said something there. And how you doing tonight, Tons? Ton of Brooks is over on YouTube. After I left last stream, you were able to get rid of, get the grid panel events working the way you want it. Yeah, it's right here. As you can see, the way she moved. In fact, let me redo that. Also, how you doing, Fishy? Over on Twitch. So I'm gonna make her move a couple panels. As you see, because of the error I have with the movement stuff, she's facing the wrong way. But she's going to essentially move that number of panels the wrong way and then jump to the right one. But what's gonna happen is it's gonna track where she moved here. And see, if I show you where she is, she's on the right spot. But as you see here, she moved from this panel. She was on this panel. It showed her entering it, even though she really didn't, but that's another thing. Then she moved to the 25th panel. So it exit 26, enter 25, then exit 25th, enter 24, and so on. So it tracked where she moved, and that's exactly the way I want that part of the event system to work, where when you move between panel to panel, it's tracking where you move to, so it can trigger different events. Like if you get moved into fire, or if you move on an ice space, it automatically slides you across it. That type of thing. So that's where we're at right now. Let me see if I can get this TTS working real quick. Yeah, I broke it somehow by ending the previous stream. and restarting it. There's also a new version of the app too. I probably need to download that. Okay, I may just end up having just skip that for the night and just keep an eye on it. Okay, so we can get on to this now. So as you see, event system currently working. Now I need to register when a combat, well, I really need to register when any animation happens, but specifically I need to register when a combat event or a combat animation begins and when it ends. But yeah, to your question, Tons. Yeah, it was a good day last stream, a good night. We actually got it done. All right. Let's see here. Where do we start with this? I know there's one to do I wanted to throw in here because I want to make sure. It's on the setup. One thing I want to make sure is that on the setup of the grid panels, make sure that when I have my combat stuff up, well, okay, think through this. When my event system is more mature, turn off the grid panels, turn off their colliders by default, and only turn on the ones I need working for any individual movement. Because there's no reason to have all the grid panels across the entire arena on if I'm only moving like something 2 feet in a direction or 2 panels in a direction. Thanks for the support, Tons. Appreciate it. Oops. Put a to-do on that so I'll know what that is later on. I have a couple of months before I actually get to the point where this actually I'll need to do it. Right. Well, when Okay. Got that now. Combat animations. It's not an animation controller, is it? So this is where we're creating our custom animation events. Now, do I need to track every animation movement, or probably blah, blah. I need to talk. I need to remember how to talk tonight. Probably just right now, just the combat animation, the beginning and its end. I mean, I'm guessing right here. Essentially, this is the end all of all animations, and this runs them, or runs the end events.
My name is Ultimisia, the mistress of rhyme, usurper of time. You have no hope in this battle, miserable seeds. Such a thorn in my side, I'll crush you like weeds. Think you have a chance? Oh, please. When Michael left her, you're such disease. There's no hope to be had.
So this is when the end is set up. What am I doing when this is called?
I am Ultimisia. Your end is nigh. Pitiful seeds.
So if I'm in combat, calling merge animation, the crossfade the animation. So it is happening here. So well, this is when that's up. This is when the actual animation happens. And then I'm setting up the end event. Right now, so tons on YouTube asked, so what animations do you currently have, like sword, axe, bow, etc.? So right now we have all the hammer animations done. That's 24 attacks. Then we're in the middle now of making the sword ones, and I just got a bunch. So I'm up to somewhere close to 20 of those. But they're not all complete. Because I've only got, oh, actually I can just show you the list. Come on. So these are all the hammer. Oh, sorry. These are all the hammer attacks. Or, no, sorry. Let me be more specific. These are all the hammer attacks. These are the hammer incidentals. Like the idle, the low health idle, counter attack, and the blocking animation. And here are the current sword animations we have in the game so far. We have more than that, but they're not finished. And more have not been started yet. And then here's the I'm hitting the wrong button. The sword incidentals here. Vital for the sword, low health, block, and counter. So the plan is to have 5 weapons: sword, hammer, bow and arrow, pike, and then glove/ring, which is just hand-to-hand melee. And each one will have 24 separate attacks, but they're in 3 subcategories. Like for the hammer, so I can pick out which ones belong to which category. The first category for the hammer would be the berserker style. So each weapon has 3 styles of attacks, which has 8 attacks in each. One of those for the hammer is the berserker style, which allows you to accumulate rage. They have a mechanic where the more you hit, the more damage you do, but once you don't hit anymore, if I'm right, you don't accumulate damage, and it goes away if you don't take damage. So it makes you go out in melee. And for those, if I can remember correctly, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. There's 8 if I can remember. I can't remember off the top of my head now. Oh, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are the berserker styles, which helps you build rage and do more damage. Then there is the breaker style. The breaker style will break an opponent's defense. And that one, or this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those you can use to break an opponent's defense. And then there is Marauder style. Marauder style is that push mechanic I told you about, where you can push somebody into something. So you use these attacks if you want to try to push an opponent. Whoops. And aptly named like back off and a little to the left, a little to the right. I think these 2, shoulder check, make them dance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. I can't remember, but yeah. So, Tunzax, if I have a chance to, can I post some of those animations in the Discord as video? I want to see them. I think I already have. I don't have all of them in there, but I definitely have put some in there. But I can make it a point to go in there and see what I have to post, because I don't have a video of everything. A lot of that video when I post it is my animator giving me like examples of what he's doing. But yeah, I can definitely look and see what videos I have and post them. But thanks for the question, man. Appreciate that. All right. Let's go back to this. But also, while we're here, You can also see like these are the damage animations. These are the movement animations for turning and transitioning from a run into idle. The different types of runs, because you'll be able to choose what type of run you want in your character. They'll come with one default, like the barbarian will be athletic, and you'll have mages that have the rogue run, but then you can change that up if you want. Yeah. That's it. All right. See, so probably here is when this function is called is when we need to have our starting animation event run. Is that the only place? Well, actually, it should be here. Because we're not doing anything else, right? I guess pretty much when we're in here, have it run. So let's actually go create those. Whoops. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Okay. And do we need to set up our event functions? We probably do. And they'll just be placeholder functions. Yeah, that would be. These probably belong up here. Here, this. Oh, I'll get that in the wrong place. That's why that's erroring. Ton of bricks over on YouTube. That Brainrot Python translator made me think that Gen Z is done for. Well, and the references to on Discord, you posted that Python preprocessor for Gen Z that had like terms like Riz and stuff in it. Man, I don't know about Gen Z, but the moment I saw when this model was code like a Sigma, I was done. I was like, nah, that was the brain rot. Gen Z is probably fine. It's things trying to promote to them that make them sound like they're stupid or just preoccupied with nonsense. Okay, but I think I'm good here. So I really do that. Tom Bricks on YouTube says, but I mean, maybe it will make them start learning how to code. So who knows? And so the way I've looked at it from being a software engineer for a long while, is not so much a generational thing of not wanting to code. It's more of first there was a bar to entry where you had to go do so much education or do so much learning or on the job learning to get a skill to become a coder essentially. Where now it's kind of flipped and there are so many things that will do the coding for you like AI that there's less incentive to learn, even though I'll say less presented incentive to learn, because there's definitely incentive to learning code. Like AI will give you coding that is common to AI. Can't do things that are intuitive, and sometimes coding has to be intuitive because AI will spit out the type of coding that most people will do. Most people do not do effective, lean, well architected code. So where it was before, where there was a high learning curve to coding. Now there's no upfront incentive to learn the code. So that's kind of the thing. I don't think it's generational. I think it's what do you call it? more of a social, I guess you would call it a social issue of access versus ease. And when one is too, when one or either, when either of those is too high, it makes people not want to become coders. Not for real coders that actually like know what they're doing and can write very well structured, efficient code. So that's my take on it. Because my experience, just to kind of go a little bit deeper into it, my experience in the past was that how do I put this? In the past, I met coders I met people who wanted to code but didn't want to go through the process of learning how to code. And then now, all I hear is people generating code from AIs and don't actually have an understanding of they can see if it runs, but if it breaks or if it doesn't run efficiently, they don't have an idea of how to fix that. And that's one of the things I think is vital to being a coder. So that's where I get my opinion from on that. Tons on YouTube, so you just made me rethink my entire coding life. Hey man, I don't know if you should be taking advice from me. Hopefully I gave you some of my insight. I didn't like blow your mind and make you not want to code anymore. Because I definitely, I'm the type of person who like, even though I've been doing this, I've been coding for a good couple of decades now, at least. That probably, anyway, I won't go into more details about that, but yeah, I've been coding for a couple of decades now, and I still have a lot to learn. Like, oh, another thing I've seen too that kind of gets me is the specializing people do in specific coding, where like if someone's a Python coder and they just do Python and they don't understand that Python may not be the best way to handle all situations. Like there may be other languages out there that are better suited for whatever task they're doing. And then they go about doing things very inefficiently in the coding language they're familiar with, instead of being general programmers and understanding that they may need to use another programming language that is more efficient in what they're trying to do. So that's another thing I've seen today too. That's just kind of blowing my mind a little bit. I think we should all strive to be developers / programmers, and not not be just Python developers or be PHP developers or be Java developers. We should be developers. Now, this also doesn't mean if you like programming in like just Java, there's no reason that you shouldn't just do that, but you should have a good understanding of how programming languages work in general, and how to architect the things that you're working on in multiple languages. And then if you feel like, you know, I just want to program in Java and this is the best language for that, then go for it. But I'm going to start rambling now. Oops, did not mean to do that. Ton says those are some wise words. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I every once in a while, I actually have something that approaches wisdom. Okay, so we got our events here. Really a lot of placeholder stuff here. So now we just need to figure out where to. First, we need to figure out where we're going to set up our event. Then we need to know where we're going to run the events. And we already have the cleanup. Let me think here. Where are we setting up our events? We really only need to set them up one time. This is the match setup. This is the setup the game. Kind of also wondering how we're going to get. So I'm thinking. So we have the animation. We're going to have the combat animation only running on one character at a time. I'm probably getting too deep into this thought process because we're not getting that deep tonight. We're just setting up general animation events. We don't need to know who it ran on or what it was. That'll come later when we start putting our combat system together, our actual combat system together. Because right now it's just the number of animations. I'm trying to think when this is called. Yeah, okay, this is called. From this guy. That's called from the back end. Okay, so the back end tells the game when would tell it to start setting up. Ton says the combat system is going to be really nice and fun. I'm feeling it. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Because my hope is that it's going to be, I want it to be highly strategic. Like when I was talking about the different types of styles that do different things. I'm hoping to have like counterbalance, strategic counters and counterbalances and counters to counters and stuff like that. Essentially, and if you notice, I say essentially a lot. I don't understand why I do that. Excuse me if you notice that, but the things like let me think of a good one. Like the rage mechanic. The rage mechanic only works if you can keep the rage for a period of time. Otherwise, you only get the benefit while you're in the middle of a current chain of melee. But if you want to carry it across to other, continue to build it in other chain when you attack when you do other attacks, essentially. So, all right, let me back up. So, you can do a chain of attacks on an enemy. If you're using the rage mechanic, every time you're hitting, you're getting a buff on your attack. But it goes away if you stop hitting or if you don't take damage. You keep it if you take damage. So how would you deal with that then if you're being attacked and the guy's getting stronger every time he's hitting you? There will be counter abilities like spells that let you escape a melee attack. There will be ways to counter melee attacks. So essentially, I'm just saying, like, I want to build it where this game is like almost chess, where you're trying to outmaneuver. Each player is trying to outmaneuver other players. And some will have skills that are better suited to one type of to deal with one type of set of mechanics than another. Because like if a guy's using rage mechanics on you, maybe you as the character that has better dodge capabilities wants to engage with him so he can't hit you, and he's wasting his stamina essentially using those attacks on you. So I got a lot of ideas that are going into this game. Okay. Check something real quick. I can't have this private. I'm just wondering. But this has to be public, so never mind. That's right. You can't do that. All right. So Tons asks, so the game is multiplayer. Will there also be single player levels / story mode? So the very first, so one thing about when you're, and I'm sure you understand this, Tons, but for people that are listening. So for any type of game like this, especially for when you're a single, a solo developer, you gotta keep it in scope, right? So original scope is multiplayer. Now I've got ideas for either one-on-one co-op multiplayer, like one-on-one, where like you have your team and another player has a team and you're controlling your own full teams. I've got ideas for that, but I don't want to do that in the beginning because it's going to be too much. And I've got ideas for story built in to those modes. So essentially, you can. I'm getting too deep into the weeds here because that stuff is like, if I ever can just get this like working and out there in the world and it's making money, then we'll get to making a story and we'll get to having 2-player co-op. and then maybe you'll get a single player somewhere in there as well. Because I've got some ideas, but there's a lot of ideas, and I don't want to like do them all now and never get a product out. So for right now, it's just the multiplayer. But I could see next doing the 2-player co-op, because that's just cutting down on the players. But thanks for the question. Okay. Oh, and also to that, tons. I actually, I actually had originally had an idea to have a character creator in this game that I had to cut out. One, because honestly, because when I started having the model generated, it didn't turn out like I wanted, where I could actually do the model, do the character creator like I wanted. And then I had to also start cutting scope, because I knew, like, if I tried to do every single thing I wanted to do, it would just never happen. Like, I would just be, oh, Jeff Point, oh, how you doing, man? Hopefully I didn't miss you for too long. Jeff 2.0. Sorry, I got to give you your 2 points in there, man. You're a version that you're at the best version of you right now, which is 2.0. It's great to see you, man. Okay. So how's your night going, Jeff? Oh, doing some Fortnite. All right, man. I wish I had time to get in some Fortnite, man, especially with all the Marvel stuff coming out. It looks so cool. So Tons on YouTube says character creator would be cool, but that would probably be in a later update or something. Yeah, I'm at this point. I would have to redo all the models now, because that's one of the things that I kind of started having to think about having to cut it, because the models were just not being made to a way that I could actually, because the whole idea was stitching them together. I had an idea to stitch them together, and the models I got now just ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen for that. So it was the easiest thing to cut, where I could, like, when I was cutting scope, it was the easiest thing to cut. So Jeff went on Twitch says Marvel stuff is gone now. Doggone it. That was me doing the doggone it. Asian thing with Oni and Demons just came out. Yeah, I just saw Hunters. Yeah. Doesn't that look like Overwatch to you? To me, it does. It's gotta, because I know I saw like a promo, a video of a guy like wall running. I was like, that doesn't look like Fortnite to me. It looks like something you see in Overwatch. Okay. So we're implementing that. We're going to call two functions in here. Oh yeah, they're changing it constantly. That's their MO. Like, especially when they see something in another game they like, Fortnite will steal the heck out of somebody else's mechanics. Let me go look what I did over here. That. So next we need to tell it where to run. We also need to Hey, Jeff, Tons on YouTube says he wants to tell you hello before he goes to bed. Tons, you have a great night, and I will see you next time, man. So Jeff, tell me what you're up to, man. I know you've been working on a couple of games, man. What's up? Oh, say that. Okay, so next I need to have the functions I'm going to run actually. Now, I'm not even sure this is the right place to run them, but we might as well. I wonder if it's better to run them. I ain't gonna worry about it right now. Again, I'm getting too deep into it. I figure that's probably where these functions are going to end up, is in these new functions for tracking the ends of animations of combat attacks. Oh, yeah, man. Sorry, I'm just asking how you. I know you're working on a game here and there, and I was trying to see where you're at. Don't let me distract you from living. Like, if you're battling it out, don't let me distract you. Oh, you're working on your first project. That's right. You said you were looking to work on Fortnite assets, right? Or not assets, but I know you're looking to get into the Fortnite ecostructure. You're looking to do stuff in Fortnite. To develop things for Fortnite. I think I was trying to say the word ecostructure, but I'm not sure I said that right. Ecostructure. It's been a long day for me. So Jeff 2.0 says, however, it's harder than it seems. They've kind of set up the environment for hobbyists where you use a bunch of devices they made. But it's tricky if you actually want to program or heavily customize. Ugh. Have you talked to one of the guys we know that actually does that work? Like, because remember, we know somebody that actually does work. Essentially, he runs his whole company off doing Fortnite stuff in Fortnite, and then he's trying to make his game off of that. Or they are trying to make their game off of that. Maybe he can help you out, understand some of that stuff. But I can imagine, yeah, because one thing about the Unreal stuff, like if you dig into it, it seems very unwieldy. Like the surface level is really like, the surface level stuff looks really intuitive, like Blueprint and stuff like that. And I'm sure Fortnite kind of follows that. But once you dig in and have to like actually code, it seems like, and this is me looking at it from the outside, but it seems nightmarish to get into. But once you get into it, it's probably very powerful. It just says, I was setting up the UI with buttons, but then I realized that there are 3 preset buttons and you can't change them all yet. Supposed to come in 2025. Wait, okay. But now I've redone the UI with keyboard inputs and I believe I have the functionality I need and it's moving forward. Okay, nice. That's at least good to hear. But I'm just like, they only give you 3 preset buttons? I mean, epic. 3 buttons, guys? Okay. I mean, I'm sure I don't know. I'm not sure I don't know like the full totality of what those buttons are and their functionality and what they're supposed to do. But I would imagine they would at least give you a way to customize buttons or just set up a button and I don't know. But at least I'm glad you're getting somewhere with it. Okay, so this should be set up out of the gate to run. I don't think I have to do anything else to it other than set up where it's actually being ran. I gotcha. You know, there was a story I heard like back in the day. This is probably off of the Bombcast, where like someone wrote into the Bombcast and said they were an Unreal developer. This was years and years ago. Where they said like, and they were a part of a big like AAA studio, and they were like, the story went that certain things are preset like that, and they wouldn't run unless you set them up a certain way. Like an interactive wouldn't work. So if you put like a car in a shooter, the gun would have to be in the car for the car to have function. Essentially, all the activity, all the user controls were mapped through the gun in the shooter. So you put the gun in the car to give them control of the car. I don't know if that was ever real, but if that was, that's crazy. And that sounds kind of like what you're dealing with. Like just a lack of foresight from whoever setting up the tools. And then we need to just as I don't know about Unreal, but it seems like in Fortnite, they program it to work for whatever happens in Fortnite and that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it seems like there's just a lack of foresight when they were building the tools to make them general, where it's very specific functionality. It's a very myopic way of creating tools. All right, let's give this a test, see if this works. Check something right here. Check something real quick. I thought I said animation just looks a little weird. I'll check something real quick. F3.K, yeah. Okay. Anyway. All right. Let's see if our combat animations are working. Okay, nothing actually happened. Okay, my animations didn't play at all, but it showed what was supposed to be damaged, right? Hmm. Okay, why didn't my animations play? Was there errors? Don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Your vain crusade ends here. Price for your meddling is death beyond death. Reflect on your childhood, your sensation, your words, your emotions. Time will compress. All existence denied.
Okay, we're not doing any animations anymore. Oh, I know exactly what it is. I have her assigned to the hammer. So I have her assigned to a sword and I'm doing hammer attacks. So let's actually switch gears for just a second. Let's go ahead and set her up to actually do the sword attacks. So that at least proves like some my logic is working. Like you can't do attacks you don't have the right weapon attack. You can't do attacks with the wrong weapon. And I need to know, I need to find the numbers for those attacks. One sec. All right, we got those set up. Go ahead and test. Okay, that's weird. It did one of them and it stopped. Let's try it again. Let's start over. Completely start over. Okay, so I know what it is. One of the animations is broken because its name is too long. I got to fix that out the database. But I mean, it's working. The animations probably need a little bit of tweaking themselves. They look a little slow. So let's see if we can check those out again. Okay, that was a slowness I don't like. I'm hoping it's just my machine is slowing down for some reason, which I really don't like, but anyway. Better that than the game. You know, I should have put these in WASD order. This would have been easier. And of course, some of this is they also need the effects added too. They look kind of plain just by themselves. So they look okay. Now, of course, we don't have our events actually showing. So, and that's the main thing we've been trying to test here. But I'm just gonna take a quick break. Be right back. I'm gonna set her up with a bunch of animations, see if I can make it back by the time she's finished. Well, gotta move her first. That's one of the things I gotta change sooner than later. But again, that's all gonna be part of the client stuff. All right. We'll put a bunch of them in there. Just gonna slap a bunch of these animations in there. The last time I did this, I came back and it was still going. All right, here we go. I'm back and she's still going. I'll let her finish up. And I'll probably speed up a couple of those. Like that looks fine. Those two look fine. That stab down maybe a little bit faster. The side swing a little bit faster. We might get to that a little bit tonight. Actually, no, we won't get to that tonight because I've got other sword animations coming and I don't want to make those changes and have to make them again. Because I've got some that I just received that I needed, that I had to have the animator had to have them clean them up a little bit. Excuse me. I just got a set of sword animations that I had to have the animator clean up a little bit. So that'll be 10 more we'll be adding soon. Wow, how many did I actually set this to do? I might end this soon. And at some point, I had to go through all these animations because I have a dynamic merging setup for the different animations. So essentially, I keep saying essentially, I need to stop myself from doing that. But I can merge essentially any animation into another animation and make it look a lot cleaner than it is now. The problem is that, like, say for all the hammer animations, I'd have to go through all 24 of them and make them and do all the mergers settings for all 24 against all 24. So each one would have to have a merger setting for all 24 of the same set, including itself. So that's one thing that's just going to have to happen one day. Unless I can get somebody else to do it. Like somebody who has the time to sit here and go through whole sets of animation and see how they best merge with each other. All right, I think we're good now. We can go ahead and stop this. All right, let's see why our animations aren't running. Or no, so not. Our animation events are not triggering. Let's see if they're actually set up. Okay. Oh, we haven't actually told them to execute, have we? No, wait. It's wait. Oh, because there's nothing in the execute. We actually have to do it in our base function. So we missed that. All right, here we go. So now it's ask yourself, where did the end come from first? So we got a triggering. Just doesn't make sense when we got attack ended first. Or maybe I've got that end in the wrong place. Because that's at... Yeah, that should be here. That should be at the end of a combat animation, which would be in the players. Yeah, animation combat, and of course, is right there. Oh, the animation controller. Oh, wait a minute. Is that in the wrong place? There we go. All right, Jeff, you have a great night too, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Okay, so it's looking promising. It looks good. Now we probably want to get the name of the animation. We really probably need the player too. Okay, so we've proven that works. We want to go a step further and maybe just get the player and the animation name. And then that's probably as far as we need to test. Question is, how do we get it? And while we're here, I'm going to make this a little bit simpler myself for these. I'm going to go ahead and put these on some different keys so I can find them easily on my keyboard. Actual QWERTY. And this is the function I think we need to get our player. So this is where we get the attacker. Where are we getting the current animation? Or at least the attack name. Probably from the player itself. What was that? I know I should be. Okay, here's the current attack move data. And here it is. Here's the name. Okay. So all we need is the player character. That was simple. All right. I got a feeling this is going to be null on end. Let's see. If this works, we can actually move on to doing something else tonight. Well, there we go. Thing is, I don't see the start and the end separately. I knew it was going to end on a null. But I feel like I should see the start, then animation, then the end. I feel like I'm seeing the end. Like they're coming at the same time. Well, let's figure out what we can do about this null. Question is, why are we... If it ended here, why are we getting this? Probably because the event fires after the attacker's cleared? That doesn't make sense. Let's go back and look. I mean, I can see essentially if this ends, I believe when this ends, it clears out. Like if this returns false or this doesn't have a melee to execute, it clears the player for the main character, for the main controller. So when you come here and this kicks all this off, it doesn't know it's already, that player is already cleared out at the end of its animations. But let's look at first. First, I want to see if those animations are actually appearing to be timed with the starting and ending of the animation itself. Those events.
Even still, if there's a possibility, it's worth a try, right? Oh, I do recall losing all now that we parted ways. Our memories will soon fade away, the feelings I can't convey. I'm stuck in the past, and I didn't see what is the evening now. I'll be the best I can be. Yeah. You can't change the past. I just found that out. I can no longer make it back to that moment. All my thoughts remain, you had made times I treasured the most. All the jokes we shared, all of the laughter, meeting you was a joy. I'm stuck in the past, and I didn't see. But in the here and now, I'll be the best I can be. I couldn't change the past.
Maybe I should
Seeing it was
put the starting time, the actual like starting time milliseconds, and see if that makes a difference. I'm wondering if
I finally
the triggers are working properly. It's just the animation is slower than the triggers. I mean, it's like the visual of the animation. I wonder if it's faster or actually slower than the triggers firing. I don't know.
save me again. Moments just like back then. I'm stuck in the past, and I didn't see. But in the here and now, I'll be the best I can be. Yeah, yeah.
This runs at the end. This doesn't. Oops. Let's see here. Excuse me too. I think I bumped the mic a little bit. Think here. All right, let's just maybe put some timers on stuff and see what the difference is. Needs to be right here. Yeah, I need the milliseconds on that. It's not going to help me. I should have realized that didn't give me the difference between epoch and current time. That's just the epoch. That just doesn't seem right.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. Now there's no sense crying over every mistake. Just keep on trying till you run out of cake. And the science gets done, and you make a neat gun for the people who are still alive. I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now. Even though you broke my heart and killed me and tore me to pieces and threw every piece into a fire. As they burned, it hurt because I was so happy for you. Now these points of data make a beautiful line, and we're out of beta, we're releasing on time. So I'm glad I got burned. Think of all the things we learned for the people who are still alive. Go ahead and leave me. I think I prefer to stay inside. Maybe you'll find someone else to help you. Maybe like Mesa. That was a joke, haha, bad chance. Anyway, this cake is great, it's so delicious and moist. Look at me still talking when the science do. When I look out there, it makes me glad I'm not you.
So what is going on here?
There is reason to be done.
That runs for a second. This definitely didn't do that.
And believe me, I'm still alive. I'm doing science and I'm still alive. I feel fantastic and I'm still alive. When you're dying, I'll be still alive. And when you're dead, I will be still alive. Still alive. Still alive.
What is our issue here? what to do here. Because I feel like it's automatically firing, which that shouldn't be the case at all. Guess let's check something. Let's check the see if I can check the setup just to make sure we're not doing something crazy. I mean, that doesn't fix our issue. That's just me trying to clean up a little bit. Maybe clearing that no will help us out.
This was a joyride. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's
looks so weird. Why is that like that?
That was a joke, haha, by chance. Anyway,
It almost makes you wonder if the previous end is triggering with the name of the current animation, which is why we have that leftover one that hits after things have been changed.
there is research to be done on the people who are still alive.
Well, what is this ending then?
And believe me, I am still alive. I'm doing science and I'm still alive. I feel fantastic and I'm still alive. While you're dying, I'll be still alive. And when you're dead, I will be still alive. Still alive, still alive.
Now, is this end? I mean, it looks like it actually makes a difference. So we have an extra attack end. Look at the difference between this and this is definitely not the case. 4-4 and 4-7. Well, wait a minute, no. Actually, yeah. And that means we're missing a start then. There it is. No, that's right. But that doesn't feel like it fits here. Wait a minute. Like an animation played. but it never triggered. All right. Whoops, wrong one. I didn't get a start. And for some reason, didn't get a start. And when it ends, it's already unset from the player and the animation. Well, it's unset from for the player. Okay. So let's go look at the start first. Oh, okay. This is in the wrong place, of course. This is when you got, or you already in the chain of animations, of combat animations. This needs to be down here. Okay, let's see what that gets us. Okay. Animation started. We didn't get an end. Let's think about this. Let's go look at that beginning. It should just go ahead and run it. Well, yeah, it's supposed to run it anyway. The reason we don't get it in for the first one is because we still should set up a animation end event. Because they definitely don't error.
I tighten the tail of Maxwell Roth. He's soft foot legs like a moth. His sense of timing never up until he opted to collaborate with the hooded reprobate. The blighter and assassin made a deadly double bill. Jokes, jokes, jokes. Make them laugh until they choke. Barely sling him in the aisles. Maidens fair and Princess Charming. Thrills, thrills, thrills. Touching feats and deadly spills. And I guarantee you'll never see the ending coming. The curtain rose, the scene was set. They danced to murder as to it, and much deserving blood was let up to the scene wherein they disagreed on who should live and who should bleed. And Maxwell Rothy then received a very bad review. Jokes, jokes, jokes. And there's daggers in their cloaks, but behind the scenes the main players differ on the plot. Laughs, laughs, laughs. And the dandy's red in his scarf. Now he chose a week to base him up in his eternal lot. Group of friends obscure online, embittered by the passage of time, sought a game of skill and rhyme, a duel. Our online peers anonymous shall vote here now which one of us gets the last laugh decided by the dwelling of the duels. Jokes, jokes, jokes. Make them laugh until they joke, fairly slay them in the aisles, maidens fair and Princess Charming. Thrills, thrills, thrills. Touching feats and bloody spills, and I guarantee you'll never see the ending coming.
Okay, so the one works. We just don't have the player. Let's try with two. Okay. Okay, this was like a second. But we had no end. because the next one got called, and the end for this hadn't even showed up yet. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm in the function I'm doing the exit in is in the wrong, being ran out of the wrong thing. I think that's not the actual exit function, I don't think. No, wait a minute. It's supposed to be the setup. Wait. This is when the next, okay, yeah. This is when the next one is okay, maybe I'm calling it the wrong place. Let's try this. Because this one, it goes to actually the next one. So I was calling this after it started the next one. Okay, all right. So I'm in the, whoa, wait a minute. What the heck happened with Twitch? Are we offline? We're on Twitter. We didn't drop frames. Okay, because hold on. Let me see if I'm online on YouTube.